everyone. So in this video, we will discuss about the remainder and then the factor theorem. So the objective of this discussion is you're going to prove the remainder theorem and factor theorem, find the remainder using the synthetic division or the remainder theorem, and solve word problems using the remainder and factor theorem. So before that, let us define first what is the difference between the remainder and then the factor theorem. So when we say remainder theorem, if a polynomial p of x is divided by x minus c, then the remainder is equal to r is equal to p of c. So whatever the value of the, when you evaluate the value of x to the given polynomial, so that would be the remainder. So kumbaga, the concept using in solving the remainder using the remainder theorem is parang evaluating function siya. Okay? And then factor theorem naman, we have if p of c is equal to 0, then x minus c is a factor of p of x. Conversely, if x minus c is a factor of p of x, then p of c is equal to 0. So in other words, if the remainder is equal to 0, then that given binomial or x minus c is a factor of the given p of x or the given polynomial. So let's have an example. So find the remainder. So you are going to find the remainder when x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is divided by x plus 3. So to find the remainder of the given polynomial, when you divide by the given binomial, is there are two ways, using the remainder theorem or using the synthetic division. So let us use first the remainder theorem. Yung synthetic division kasi is in order for us to check if our remainder is correct. Okay? So yun. So let us use the remainder theorem. So before that, let us find first the value of x in the given divisor. So you have x plus 3 is equal to 0, so our x is equal to negative 3. Parang nag-solve ka lang ng quotient using the synthetic division. Diba ganyan yung process natin to find the value of x? Okay. So, our p of x is equal to x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. So, lahat ng x dito is papalitan natin ng negative 3. So, papalitan natin siya ng negative 3. So, yung p of x, so we have p of negative 3, ayan na, and then x cubed, so that is negative 3 cubed, plus 2 times negative 3 squared minus 5 times negative 3 plus 2. So, let us now evaluate. So, you have p of negative 3 is equal to negative 3 cubed is you have negative 27 plus 2 times negative 3 squared, so that is negative 3 times negative 3, so that is positive 9. And negative times negative, so negative 5 times negative 3, so that is positive 15. And then you copy plus 2. Okay, simplify. So you have negative 27, 2 times 9, so that is 18. So plus 15 and plus 2, then simplify. So we have p of negative 3 is equal to positive 8. So this is now the remainder. Okay. So let us use the synthetic division if 8 is really the remainder of x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 divided by x plus 3. So, di ba, using the synthetic division, yung first thing na gagawin natin is to check if our given p of x is naka-standard form siya. And hindi lang naka-standard form, but complete terms ba siya? Okay. So, in this case, naka-standard form naman siya. And then, wala naman siyang missing term. Di ba, kapag may missing term, nag-add tayo ng 0. So, we insert 0 doon sa missing term. So, you have now the numerical coefficient, get all the numerical coefficient of the given p of x. So that is positive 1, and then positive 2, then you have negative 5, and then you have positive 2. Then, x plus 3, so that is negative 3. Diba yung shortcut way natin is we have negative 3. Or nandito na siya. You find the value of x, so that is negative 3. So, divided by negative 3, which is our synthetic divisor. Then, Let us now solve using synthetic division. So you bring down, first step is bring down the first, and then you have 1, then you multiply, so that is negative 3. Then you add 2 plus negative 3, so you have negative 1. Multiply again, so negative 1 times negative 3, so that is positive 3. You add negative 5 plus 3, so you have negative 2. Multiply again, negative 2 times negative 3, so that is positive 6. Then you add 2 plus 6 is, we have 8. So our remainder is 8. So parehas lang po sila. Okay? So nasa sa inyo na lang kung paano i-solve yung remainder. But if the evaluation, it states that you're going to use the remainder theorem, then use the remainder theorem. Okay? Pero kapag mga exam na or quizzes to find the remainder, so it's either of the two. Okay? So, yun. So let's have another. So determine whether or not x plus 2 is a factor of x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. Diba? The definition of the factor theorem is, if the remainder is 0, then the given binomial is a factor of p of x. Okay? So, dapat yung ating remainder dito is equal to 0. So, we have p of c must be equal to 0. So let us use the remainder theorem again and check again using synthetic division. So you have x plus 2 is equal to 0. So our x is negative 2. So yung gagamitin nating value of x is negative 2. Then you copy the given, that is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. Then substitute the value of x. So that is p of negative 2 is equal to negative 2 raised to 3 minus minus 2 times negative 2 raised to 2 minus 5 times negative 2 plus 6. Okay, so lahat ng value of x is pinapalitan natin. Lahat ng x is pinapalitan natin ng negative 2. Then evaluate. So negative 2 raised to 3, so that is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, so you have negative 8. And then minus 2, negative 2 raised to 2 is positive 4, then negative times negative is positive, so that is plus 10 plus 6. So simplify, negative 8, so negative 2 times 4, so that is negative 8 plus 10 plus 6. And then evaluate this one, simplify, negative 8 minus 8 plus 10 plus 6, so that is 0. So our p of negative 2 is 0. So let us use synthetic division to check. So you have 1, negative 2, negative 5, and then 6. So complete naman yung terms and naka-standard form siya. So you divide it by the synthetic divisor, which is negative 2. So you bring down 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So you have negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Then you add, so that is positive 3 times negative 2. So you have negative 6. Then you add 6 plus negative 6 is 0. So our remainder is 0. So since the remainder is 0, x plus 2 is a factor of x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. So let's have another example. So show that x minus 3 is a factor of p of x is equal to 2x raised to 6 plus 3x raised to 4 minus x squared plus 3. So let us use again the remainder theorem and check using the synthetic division. So x minus 3 is equal to 0, so therefore our x is equal to 3. So you copy the given p of x is equal to 2x raised to 6 plus 3x raised to 4 minus x squared plus 3. Then substitute the value of x. Substitute natin yung 3 sa lahat ng x. So you have p of 3 is equal to 2 times 3 raised to 6 plus 3 times 3 raised to 4 minus 3 squared plus 3. And then evaluate. So 3 raised to 6, so that is 729. 3 raised to 4, that is 81. 3 times 3 is 9, so plus 3. So you have 2 times 729 plus 3 times 81 minus 9 plus 3. And then simplify. 2 times 729, so that is 1,458. 3 times 81 is 243. Then you copy minus 9 plus 3. And simplify. 1,458 plus 243 minus 9 plus 3. So that is 1,695. So the remainder is 1,695. So using the synthetic division, so i-check natin if the remainder is 1,695. So take a look at the given P of x. So you have 2x raised to 6 plus 3x raised to 4 minus x squared plus 3. So naka-standard form siya. Pero, meron siyang missing term. So anong nawawala? So yung nawawala is yung my x raised to 5. So you have 0, 0x raised to 5, and then 6, 5, 4, then 0x raised to 3, and then 0x. So yan yung mga nawawalang term. So you have now 2, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, negative 1, 0, and then positive 3. Then you divide it by the synthetic divisor, which is positive 3. Okay. Bring down 2. So you have 2. 2 times 3, so you have 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 plus 18, you have 21. 21 times 3, so you have 63. 0 plus 63 is 63. 63 times 3 is 189. So negative 1 plus 189, so that is 188 times 3, 564. 0 plus 564 is 564 times 3, 1,692 plus 3, so that is 1,695. So our remainder is correct. But in the problem, you are just going to show that x minus 3 is a factor of p of x. Remember the factor theorem that masasabi lang natin na factor yung given na binomial if their remainder is 0. So as you can see, the remainder is 1,695. So since the remainder is not 0, therefore, x minus 3 is not a factor of p of x is equal to 2x raised to 6 plus 3x raised to 4 minus x squared plus 3. So that is all about the remainder theorem and then the factor theorem. Uulitin natin. To solve for the remainder theorem, you're just going to find the value of x, okay, and then substitute the value of x to the given polynomial, then do the operations. And pwedeng gumamit ng synthetic division to check kung tama ba ang inyong remainder. So, sa factor theorem naman, remember that masasabi natin na factor yung given na polynomial if the remainder is equal to 0. So that ends our discussion. Thank you, everyone.